right, so I went out today and took all the celery out of the garden, and I'm going to dehydrate some of it, get it cleaned up. Some of the leaves are not looking too great, but I'll just give those to the rabbits. They'll love them. But what I'm going to do is the leaves that I can, I'm going to dehydrate and dehydrate the celery itself, and I'll probably make a green powder with the leaves, and then dehydrate the celery and have some for soups and stews and stuff like that. And then I will also make some celery salt or celery season mix with it. So we are going to get this washed up and put it in the dehydrator, and it will probably take a while because my dehydrators are kind of old, so they take a little while, a little bit longer to dehydrate. I really need a better one. So I'm gonna get that done, and then we're gonna see what we got. So I'm just gonna start with separating the leaves and putting them in this bowl, and then I'm gonna wash them, let them dry, and put them on the dehydrator trays. And you can see, like, some of the celery stalks are really really tiny, but I have some that are really big. So this is just another great way of prepping your pantry, making your own seasonings for virtually free if you grow it yourself. Alright, so once you got your leaves washed, you're just going to want to put them on your dehydrator tray. So just keep putting your leaves on the tray until it's full, and then just keep stacking them up in your dehydrator until you run out of leaves or run out of space for your dehydrator. And I'm not sure how long this is going to take, but I will tell you before the video's over. Alright, so all of our trays are full, and we're just going to put them on the dehydrator and see how long it takes. So this is the amount of celery that I ended up with. It's not very big, but we'll work with what we got. And so I'm just going to cut that up, put it in a bowl, and leave it in the fridge till I have room to dehydrate that too. So the bunnies will enjoy this big bag of scraps that I have left over, so nothing goes to waste. And I have lots of celery greens, and they love this stuff. So if you can't use it yourself, you can always feed it to your animals, or if it's too bad for the animals, you can always chuck it in the compost and it's still not wasted. Okay, so I think we are ready to dehydrate our celery. So first I'm going to blanch it, which I'm just going to put it in boiling water for 1 minute. I'm going to strain it, run some cold water under it to stop the cooking process, and then we're going to put it on the dehydrator tray. Alright, so we're just going to leave it here to dry off for a little while before we throw it in the dehydrator, and then we are going to be ready to go. Look, they've been eating all day and act like they're starving. But we're going to bring them some of the celery greens, and they are going to enjoy this. We still got a lot left in the bag, and we will save that for tomorrow. They're just chomping away. right, so I finished dehydrating my celery leaves, and this is how much I got, a whole canning jar. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind it into a powder. And so I decided to use my baby bullet, which works really, really good for grinding stuff into powder. Your leaves, your dried leaves and stuff like that. Because this here is actually some kale powder that I made last year. And so this is just straight kale. So we're gonna put it in here and grind it out. All right, so this part is really loud, so all right, so it's just that easy. Makes a lot of dust, but okay. So I'm just gonna pour it into my canning jar. See how much powder we actually get out of this. Some more. I'm just gonna throw the rest of it right in there. All right, so this is the last of it. I want to spill it all out. All right, so now we have a little tiny jar, and this is all celery powder. All right, so we're done with our celery powder, which can be used for lots of things. You can use it in your soup. You can use it in, you can use it while you're cooking, making many different things, whatever you like celery in. Or you can also use this to make a green powder, which is like a superfood. Celery is a superfood. Celery is super, super good for you. You can mix your own kale powder. You can mix it with some celery powder. You can just make like a canning jar full of this, and you could just add it together with maybe some spinach greens and maybe some hemp powder, any kind of greens that are really, really good for you. You can mix them all together as a powder, and you can add it to different things that you are making. Like I added to my spaghetti sauce like kale powder and different powders and stuff, just to add some extra nutrients to it. And it always, you can't taste it. The kids can't taste it, so that's what makes it so good. Like a lot of times I just put it in my smoothie, and the kids don't notice it's in there either. They don't really notice it's in anything. The only reason they notice it's in the smoothie is because it turns it green. Other than that, you mostly just taste the fruit that's in it. But adults, if you like kale and all of that, I mean, you don't care anyway. So celery by itself is really, really good for your body. It is anti-inflammatory, so it helps with lots of inflammatory problems, and it's full of vitamin A and vitamin K and vitamin B6, and it's just super, super healthy for your body. And it's one of the best things that you can use. So we harvested this from the garden, and it's free, easy to make, and the little baby bullet works amazing. I love this thing. I was gonna get rid of it, and then I realized how good it chopped up my kale into powder, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna keep that because that works great for everything that I grind into a powder. So anyway, that's how we do our celery powder. All right, so our celery powder is all finished, and we got that much. That's pretty good because you don't really need to use a whole lot at once. So not only is celery really good for reducing inflammation, it's really good for reducing high cholesterol and reducing blood pressure. It's also able to fight infections, like urinary tract infections. It also is good to keep cancer at bay. So that's something society really struggles with today. Everybody's getting cancer. So adding some celery powder to your foods will really, really help. And it also improves digestion. It can help with weight loss and bloating problems, and it can even prevent ulcers. And it's just an all-around great food for you to have on hand in your pantry, and to add to whatever you can, or whatever you like celery in. And like I said, even if you throw it in a spaghetti sauce or something that, like, nobody's going to taste it. Like, your kids aren't going to know it's there if they're opposed to that kind of thing or whatever. So, or your husband. And so, go ahead and try making your own super powder. That's what I like to call it, super powder, because you can mix all kinds of greens together. Super greens, and make a healthy powder that you can just mix in your smoothies, mix in your pastas, mix in your soups, mix in your casseroles, whatever it is you're making. So I hope that this video was helpful, and please like this video and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Have a blessed day.